people in a certain way. We've been those cats that people have aspired to be. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't be around Nicki if I ever heard nothing ever negative said about Kim. You know what I'm saying? I never heard nothing like that. But then when it comes to just being an MC, that's when I gotta stand back. You know what I'm saying? Now if they want to do things and be MCs, that's their business. I'm not with any negativity. I'm not with no beef. You know what I'm saying? And I love both of them. You know what I'm saying? And
how'd you guys hook up? How'd you guys meet?
Oh, we met through Biggie.
Yeah, we met through Biggie.
And it's funny because when I first met him, I thought he didn't like me because every time he saw me, he'd lick his tongue at me or he'd make a funny face. But then as the years went by, I saw how much love he had for me. So I love you, Puff, and I'm so happy.
So Lil Kim been saying stuff about Diddy and even Biggie way back, but no one cared, and now more stars are finally speaking up, while before it was Gene Deal and Jaguar Wright, and people thought they were just being dramatic.
Diddy told her he was going to get Biggie. She knew it was going to happen. She was purposefully not by her husband's side that night. It happened, and she was told she had to lie about it. And guess what? That lie held up until that boy turned 18, and he started having ideas of what he wanted to do and what he inherited.
Gene Deal even said that Diddy took Biggie to LA on purpose, like he already knew trouble was waiting and that whole trip was planned so Biggie would end up in danger.
How you feel about the people that say Biggie was asking for him coming to LA so soon after Tupac got killed and him getting on the radio rapping Long Kiss Goodnight?
Man, you get 100 people in the room, and out of the 100 people, probably 3 would say it was all right for Big to be in LA. 97% of those people would say he had no business in LA at that time. We all knew that. Why would Puff rent studio time? Come on, man, look, you gotta look at what people do, man. You know Pac just got killed. It ain't no kind of business Big was doing. Big couldn't even walk, he couldn't run. They was pushing him around in a wheelchair, brother. Why the hell would you rent studio time in LA for him to finish your album when in fact you got your own studio, Daddy's house? Let's keep it a buck. Let's stop this bullshit, man. Let's stop doing these interviews, man, about this shit. Because people ain't getting it. He did not want the beef with the Crips. Puff ain't want the beef with the Dog Pound, Snoop them or whatever. Big started that beef. You understand what I'm saying? Puff ain't want none of that beef. So what I'm gonna do is...
Same thing happened with Lil Kim. Nobody took her serious back then, but now with all these things coming out, people are finally starting to pay attention to what she said.
More irritated with the fact that, how the situation is going down, especially what Puffy is doing. Yeah, he's darn right about that. Puffy look crazy right now. You know what I mean? That's why I said in my book from my show, Puffy, you should be ashamed of yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to rock with anybody that hard, you should be rocking with me that hard.
This is 50.com.
If you're going to rock with anybody that hard, you know what I mean? And you can never make another Big and Kim. That's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. What? You kidding me? This is never gonna happen. I don't get it. But, at the end of the day, Puffy is Puffy. It's all about what he can do, what he can get from people. Puffy it's all about himself a lot of times, because he never really did nothing for me.
Back in the 90s, Kim and Diddy got close after she joined Junior Mafia, which Biggie put together. And it was Biggie who first introduced her to Diddy. But even though Diddy was her friend and manager, he never signed her to Bad Boy Records because he thought she was not star material, and he even told MTV that she was way too pretty to be rapping and that girls in rap did not look like her.
How'd you guys hook up? How'd you guys meet?
Oh, we met through Biggie.
Yeah, we met through Biggie.
And it's funny because when I first met him, I thought he didn't like me because every time he saw me, he'd lick his tongue at me or he'd make a funny face. But then as the years went by, I saw how much love he had for me. So I love you, Puff, and I'm so happy.
Now, let's talk a little bit about you. You hear all the guys screaming. I know the guys have groupies. The male stars definitely have groupies. Now, you must have. What kind of stuff do guys do when they come to your guys' show?
Wow, they do different things. I remember one time I was going to a show in Atlanta, and this guy came up to me and was like, "Oh wow, little Kim," and he picked me up and threw me over his shoulder and started running out the airport. I was just really shocked. I wasn't really scared though. I was just like, oh my God, did you see what he just did?
And what happened to him? We don't have to go there.
Even after Kim's first album, Hardcore, sold over 1 million copies, Diddy still refused to sign her because he didn't think female rappers could really sell records. But that was not the only issue between them. Kim later said in a recording that Diddy always did people dirty but always got away with it because of his money and power. And she said when she was going through her worst times, like when she was in prison from 2005 to 2006 for perjury, Diddy never showed up, never wrote to her, and did not even give her a number to call.
For each other, but like I judge by what happened afterwards. When I was locked up, and here's where Puffy should feel really bad. When I was locked up, Puffy never put a $10 bill, a penny, a quarter in my commissary. He never wrote me a letter. He didn't try to come see me. None of that. I got people like Oprah. She wrote me 3 letters, right? She wrote me 3 letters and sent me 3 of her favorite books, which I love her to this day for that, because those books are so inspiring. And one of them, well, I'll tell you the name of the books later, but anyway, Tyra Banks writing me. Mark Jacobs wrote me every freaking day. He told me everything that was going on from when he first woke up to the end of the night. What does it take? Just to say, let me make sure somebody who was a major part of my family is all right. Like when you locked up, the one major thing is that makes you feel like, damn, this person really loved me and is on my side, is that when they just take the time out to do one little thing. It's not even the big things that matter, because it ain't the money. I was straight in jail. I had too much money in my commissary. When I came home, they had to send my money back. It wasn't that, but you could have came to see me one time. You could have wrote me 1 letter.
And if that was not messy enough while Kim was still in prison, Diddy went and started working with her rival Nicki Minaj. And when people asked him about it, he just brushed it off, saying Nicki was his artist now, and he didn't work with Kim anymore, even though he claimed he still had love for her. And to make it worse, Nicki even threw shade at Kim in a song with Diddy's group Dirty
people
Money.
In a certain way, we've been those cats that people have aspired to be. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't be around Nicki if I ever heard nothing ever negative said about Kim. You know what I'm saying? I never heard nothing like that. But then when it comes to just being an MC, that's when I gotta stand back. You know what I'm saying? Now, if they want to do things and be MCs, that's their business. I'm not with any negativity. I'm not with no beef. You know what I'm saying? And I love both of them. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, right now, Nicki Minaj, that's who my artist is. That's who I consult. That's who I do business with. I no longer do business with Kim on that level, but Kim will always have a special place in my heart. And it's like that. Kim is the queen. I mean, read in between the lines what you want it to be. It is what it is. Kim is the queen, and I love Kim. And Nicki's the queen in her own right. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly the way I feel about it. So don't twist my words. Don't make it no way it is or it ain't. That's what it is. And I think they should be doing records together, as a matter of fact, instead of doing anything that isn't showing unification. But yo, man, I can't preach to the choir. Everybody grown. I done been through my things, and everybody was like, yo, you went through your things. People got to go through their own things. And right now it's that dirty money time. I spoke on that, and that's what it is. And it's a positive thing, and that's what it is. Be clear.
It's Hot 97, Funk Flex, Diddy, Dirty Money.
And I will never forget the times I had with Kim, and we can have some more times because I'm still here. Shout out to little Kim. Shout out to Kim. What's up, Kim? Shout out to Kim.
For real.
And shout out to Nicki. Congratulations on those numbers, Nick. That's what's up. Let's go.
Kim also said that Diddy blocked her from big chances in her career. Like, she could have been on Sisqó's Thong Song, which was a massive hit, but Diddy told her to play hard to get, and she lost the chance, and she thinks he did it on purpose, and that was not the only time, because she also shared that Michael Jackson himself wanted her on one of his albums after hearing her music. And producer Rodney Jerkins even told her that Michael loved her sound. But when they asked Diddy who was her manager back then, nothing ever happened, and Kim said she was young and didn't realize it at the time, but now she feels like Diddy might have sabotaged it.
Rodney Jerkins, he was working on Michael Jackson's album, and he was like, yo, I was playing Queen for Michael Jackson, and he was like, man, I love how she raps behind the beat, and it's so sexy. I was like, he said that? What? He was like, yeah. So I'm telling you that to say, we're trying to get you on the album. Stop. I was like, what? I think I might, my leg is still trying to recover because I fell out the seat. And
oh my God.
Yeah.
You didn't get on that?
So let me tell you what happened.
Okay.
Puffy was my manager at the time.
Okay.
And when we brought it to Puffy, Puffy was like, Puffy can be a little bit controlling because I was like his little sister. So I don't know if him and Rodney were going through something at the time, but it just never happened because I was a kid, so I wasn't handling my business. But I remember seeing Rodney and he going, yo, what's up? I've been calling and you don't want to be on Michael Jackson's album? I was like, what? Are you crazy? Of course I do. But I didn't know what was going on behind the scenes. So that was a missed opportunity, not due to anything I did, but like, just, it was out of my control. Wow. And I really, 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 really just want to go somewhere and die.
And honestly, who really knows? Because maybe Lil Kim was holding back and actually knew a lot more about what really went down with Biggie and the whole situation than she ever shared with the public.
To motivate you. He always wanted anyone to succeed. He always wanted everybody to have a better life for themselves. He was just hungry. He just wanted to make the album. If he could get 500,000 fans, he used to say, he happy. That's what he used to say. He was like a teddy bear. He was just so cudgy, and I thought he was really nice. And he had this way about him with women. He was different from and Ready to Die than Life After Death to me. He was a little bit more firm. You know what I mean? Because I guess he knew what was out there after that. He just got a little bit more mature and a little bit more business-wise. Big hated the fact that all of it was going on. He loved Tupac and everybody from the West that he had known. He loved them. He just knew that it was a bad thing when Tupac passed. He felt real bad. He knew that there were a lot of people out there that would probably be out there to get him, whether it's they wanted his money or whether they, just didn't like him because of the rumors. He knew it was people out there who wanted to get him, so he always felt for his safety. He felt the need.
Back in 1992, Biggie first met Diddy after Diddy read about him in a magazine and was so impressed he set up a meeting, and not long after that, Biggie signed to Bad Boy Entertainment, right when the label started in 1993. Then in 1994, he dropped his debut album, Ready to Die, which was a huge success, but sadly, just a few years later in 1997, Biggie was gone. And ever since, there have been rumors that Diddy might have had something to do with it, with some people saying Biggie was planning to leave Bad Boy, and that did not sit well with Diddy, and Gene Deal even suggested that this could have been the reason.
Why is he out there working on Puff album when you got the Hit Factory? You got Daddy's House. You got the place where Tupac was shot at, Quad Studio. There's plenty of places Big could have been. Why the West Coast? Come on, man. And then you got a half retarded nigga like Lil C. Big love. Cali. Big wanted his publishing. Big wanted his marketing. He knew he couldn't go nowhere and be who he needed to be without it. So if Puff would have told that nigga go to hell with gasoline draws on, that nigga would have went to hell. All money ain't good money, brother. That's my take on it, man. I don't know if you like it or not.
But Biggie's wife, Faith Evans, came out to defend Diddy, saying there was no way he could be involved because Diddy and Biggie shared a bond that was even stronger than what she had with him. And she explained that just because people work together does not mean they plan bad things. And if she or Biggie's family ever thought Diddy was guilty, they would have taken him to court a long time ago. She said people even tried to push them to sue, but they never believed Diddy was involved. But still, many fans were not convinced and thought Faith was just covering for him. And back then, there were even rumors that Faith and Diddy were a little too close, which caused tension between Biggie and Diddy. And Jaguar Wright even claimed that Diddy only hired Faith as a way to get to Biggie.
Told her he was going to kill Biggie. She knew it was going to happen. She was purposefully not by her husband's side that night. It happened, and she was told she had to lie about it. And guess what? That lie held up until that boy turned 18 and he started having ideas of what he wanted to do, what he inherited, because the paperwork was set up for Faith to not be able to receive $1 from Biggie's estate unless it was for little Christopher. It's funny, when you ask Faith how long her and Biggie was together before they got married, the story changes every time. It was 10 days, it was 20 days, it was this days, it was that days. I'm not saying that she didn't develop feelings for him. I'm not saying that she didn't care about the father of her son. I'm saying she was hired for one job. Her being involved with Pac in the midst of all of that. But she didn't know Pac was Pac. I mean, come on, none of this shit makes sense.
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
What really does make sense is that Diddy has had a long career of using to trap niggas into making them do what he wants to do or using them to move them out the way. Struggling artists trying to make their way up, not getting the break that they needed. All of a sudden they stand next to the right guy, and then now you know that guy is dead and they're okay for life.
Right.
You know how many people in the business that happens to? Ask me how much different Faith life, her whole life look, career look. How does a woman with that much talent end up married to somebody like Stevie J?
One of Biggie's close friends, Gene Deal, shared that Biggie once pulled out a contract and showed him plans for a brand new label he was about to start. And Gene said the deal was worth around $62 million, which was a massive amount back then. And Biggie told him he was finally about to get real money and build something powerful and big, completely separate from Diddy, and that he was ready to take control of his own future.
He had a contract, and what happened was when me and Puff rode on the plane coming back down there, Puff gave me his briefcase and everything like that. Like, yo, here, like, me carry this. Say, all right, motherfucker, I got 5 hours, 6 hours on this thing. Let me see what's in the briefcase. And I seen big contract, and it was talking about, well, you get 250,000, you know, for signing. You're going to get another 250,000. The thing go gold. Then you're going to get this much, and you're going to get that much. And then at the end of the contract, I was skimming through it. At the end of the contract said, we're going to discuss about you getting your publishing and your marketing back. Right. So I was asking Big's questions about that because I didn't know what publishing was. I didn't know what marketing was. And Big was showing me a contract because I was saying to Big, Big was like, yo, Gene, I like you. I would take you with me, bruh, but you love that nigga too much. I said, love that nigga too much? What the fuck you mean I love a nigga too much? He said, yeah, you love him too much, bruh. I would take you with me. I said, how you gonna take me with you and you broke? He said, I'm broke. I said, yeah, you broke, man. You owe Mike Gadget $30,000 for the system and them drop boxes he put in your truck. And he was like, yo, how you know that? I said, it's talk and run their mouth big. Yo, he said, oh, shit. He said, but I'm about to get this money. So he showed me, I said, you about to get that money? He said, yeah, look at this. It had Charlie Baltimore, Cameron, Little C's, Little Kim, Junior Mafia, Tracy, I don't know, Tracy Murray,
Tracy Lee,
and the commission. And I think the contract was for so many years for like 62 million. It comes out to like $62 million.
And this is where it all turns even more complicated because Gene Deal strongly believes that Biggie did not just die in some random drive-by shooting. He says it was a full setup and that everything about the way it happened felt planned and organized, like somebody wanted Biggie gone for real. Everybody knows that Biggie was the heartbeat of Bad Boy and the one making crazy money for Diddy, and that label would never have blown up the way it did without him. And some people believe Diddy deep down knew that if Biggie walked away, he would lose not just a star, but but the whole shine of Bad Boy because Biggie was the face of it all. And the talk is that Biggie was ready to branch out, start his own label, and lock down a $62 million deal, which would have made him unstoppable and out of Diddy's reach. And here is where things start sounding shady because so many people say Biggie became even more valuable after he was gone than when he was alive. Since once he died, his music turned timeless. His name became iconic, his albums sold like crazy, and every single dollar from that wave went straight back to Diddy and Bad Boy. And that is why people whisper that maybe Diddy had more to gain from losing Biggie than keeping him around. Because a living Biggie could leave, take his talent and his money, and start an empire of his own. But a gone Biggie would always stay tied to Diddy forever, making money and boosting his power, and in that way, Diddy would never lose control. Gene Deal told a story that makes the whole night of Biggie's death sound even darker because he said that somebody from their own crew, the same people who were supposed to protect him and ride with him, may have actually been the one to mark the car Biggie was in. And according to him, that mark was like a secret signal that told the killers exactly where Biggie was sitting and which vehicle to aim for. And if that really happened, it changes everything because it means this was not just some random drive-by. It was something planned and calculated from the inside. And Gene believes that without that mark, the shooters would have had no way of knowing which car to hit. But with that mark, they knew right away where Biggie was, and it made him an easy target. And that is why some people think the betrayal might have come from inside his own circle, which makes the whole story even more heartbreaking because Biggie trusted those around him and never imagined one of them could have played a part in setting him up that night. Now, this is where Lil' Kim really comes back into the picture because a lot of talk has been going around that she already knew what was going on behind the scenes all along. She knew the kind of things Diddy was pulling after. Biggie died and she wanted to speak her truth, but word is that Diddy himself warned her to keep her mouth shut. And that could be the main reason why she stayed so quiet for all those years, even though she was holding so much inside. But now the story is different because people are saying Lil' Kim is no longer standing by Diddy and she is finally ready to distance herself from him and maybe even spill everything she has been keeping to herself. And if that happens, it could shake things up in a big way because Lil' Kim was right there in the middle of it all and her voice could confirm so many of the rumors that have been circling for years. So right now, the whole world of fans and gossip lovers are just waiting on Lil' Kim because if she finally decides to open her mouth for real and spill every single thing she has been holding inside for all these years, it could shake the music game in a way nobody has ever seen before. She was not just some random person around. She was in the heart of it all, standing with Biggie, moving with Diddy, and seeing everything go down. In the 90s, she saw the money flow, the power plays, the friendships, the betrayals, the dirty games, and the secrets that never made it to the public. She knows what was happening behind closed doors and what people only whisper about now, and if she speaks, it will not sound like rumor. It will sound like truth coming from someone who was right there watching it happen with her own eyes and ears, and that kind of truth could destroy the shiny image Diddy has built up for years, and it could even change how the world remembers Biggie and his story because Lil' Kim holds pieces of the puzzle that nobody else has, and fans believe once she decides to let those pieces out, it will open a can of worms so big, so messy, and so unstoppable that the whole world will have to look at that era with brand new eyes and nothing will ever be the same again.